record of decision. That one, ROD, so take that, and then she knows that, so I have to shoot it in photos.
Would you write her name down there, where it needs to be?
Is staying out of trouble?
This is your, then there's your vote, that's the background for the vote.
Oh, we have one historical and there one historical.
See you later.
And then this is your well.
It's set for.
And so I marked on the two.
Oh my God.
That's trouble.
Long meeting, long meeting.
No. And then this is one.
Can you get by there?
Yeah,
I'm sure I can.
All together. And then here's your assessments. And there are two of them because this adds the new well. But they changed the numbers. So this is when you put in drop bar. And yet this is like your six. Yeah, and it has a lot of this stuff in it. It just has that would be good, but it also keeps the surface water. You don't have infiltration. But because you're so.
He said he was coming. Good job.
I guess it's.
Your last week, that's what gay for sure was.
There's nothing, I mean, so you do have to address the protection for that type of things. So I'll bring this and show them the whole thing and give this to you. That will be yours.
You know, maybe we should go ahead and just get started. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First off,
You ladies can come in.
No, we're fine, because we gotta go after we speak, so.
okay. But I'd like to see if we can't change the agenda just a little bit and put Chris Thielen from the Fromberg Historical Society. If she can go first, that way she can head on home.
Avoid the.
But you
I don't mean to be mean about this.
put in a letter, right?
I did.
Lies behind the payroll.
No letter of interest. Chip?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. First off, it says, the town of Fromberg to the city council. It says, I am interested in serving as a board member on the Carbon County Historical Preservation Commission. I understand I must submit a letter of interest to the Fromberg Town Council for the appointment to this board. I presently hold the treasurer's position on the Clarksburg Valley Museum Board. Thank you for your time and consideration in this matter, and I look forward to hearing from you. So, do you have anything you'd like to say to the council, or do you guys have any questions that you need?
I just have to represent, I would represent Fromberg up there. They have 4 or 5, 6 board members.
Yeah.
I would just represent the museum here in town and Fromberg.
That'd be great.
Say in my opinion, she's been around quite a while, she's well organized, she'd be a great candidate there, I think.
Well, is this, do we have to make a motion on this one?
Yeah, I asked Kirsten back, she said just to make a motion,
Okay.
make her 2 minutes.
Would you have anything you'd like to say to the council other than that?
I appreciate your vote.
Well, I make a
I've never
motion-
been on the board, so I don't know anything to, it's easy. I don't know what to expect, but Marge says it's easy, so.
I'll make a motion to appoint Chris Thielen as our representative.
I can second that.
We have a motion and a second to approve Christine Thielen as our Carbon County Historical Preservation Commissioner. All in favor?
Aye.
Well done.
There you are.
You win.
Well, thank you, Christine.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
This is the only way.
I can do
Yeah,
it.
I didn't think to ask
But
you.
I have a couple that I thought maybe you.
We still need.
What's that?
Thank you.
You know,
Yeah.
okay. So we'll continue on with public comment. Things not on the agenda. We have anything?
I'm,
Yes.
here, we are done decorating. We're not, two of us against everybody that's been against us. We can't do it anymore. My nerves just can't take it anymore, and we're done. It breaks my heart to do that, but I can't do it.
June, before you make that conclusion, just,
No, it's already done.
It's done.
would you be interested in doing it right here in the little park in town?
No,
No.
Not at all, nothing?
no, nothing.
I'm
We're done.
sorry you feel that way.
We're done.
Well, I am sorry to hear that because everybody that I talked to really enjoyed that. They really liked it.
Well, evidently you didn't read the comments on
Focus on Fromberg.
Focus on Fromberg.
Well, I don't read those comments on Focus on Fromberg because I listen to what the people in town have to say. And a lot of it comes through the Focus on Fromberg and the other websites or comments and stuff from people outside of town. And the things that go on in this town are the citizens of this town. And everybody that I've talked to and everybody that has talked to me about it has really liked it.
Yeah, see, we haven't heard from anybody that they enjoy it or, you know, that,
Two people maybe.
two people we have that, you know, they're behind us and stuff. But I enjoyed it and it broke my heart and I cried when I read one comment that the gal says that her grandkids loved it and they looked forward to the next month coming up. And that really upset me and it's just
It'll be in
been
our yards from now on. if anybody
downhill
wants to
after
do it.
that. I'm gonna miss doing it because I really enjoyed doing it.
Are
You know.
are you making the decision
They're very
because
pretty.
of the opinions of 2 or 3 people in town?
No.
No, there's a,
Comments has been made since we started. Every month it's something different.
But
And
are
the
they made
staple
by
things, that
multiple
went a little
people or
bit too
just a
far.
few?
This caused me a heart attack Friday.
Are those comments made by multiple people, townspeople, or just a
Yes.
few?
No,
No,
Well,
what?
some's good,
I
some's
think it's a
bad.
very few people that are making negative comments. I think the majority of the townspeople enjoy what you
Well,
do.
there was like 39 comments.
And how
People that
many
don't even
negative,
live in Fromberg popping their mouth off. That went right through me.
negative comments?
Negative. Very negative.
I'm so glad I see that site.
I am very, and I have to apologize. I'll apologize for whoever has said the negative things about you. I have not heard them, and I would not support them. I want to let you know that I have supported you in 100%, 110%, 200%. Because what you've done down there has pulled this town together. And that's what people are kind of afraid of. If they're setting out negativity, it's they're afraid that people in town are pulling together and we're gonna get along. And I can't let a few destroy that. And I'm-
well, I did donate one piece of the, piece that I've done, and I haven't decided on the rest of them, but I did donate the, firehouse that was down there at the park and the little firemen. I did donate that to Jay, so he can do with what, he wants with it. And I do have 6 little more firemen for you to go with that set.
Sweet.
So you may do with it what you like.
Well,
And I may give you the rest of them too, I haven't figured that out.
I'll tell you, I would hate to see you guys quit. Because it's just proves the point that.
They won.
Well,
No.
they didn't win, but
Not
it's,
if you don't let them.
When we
we're
started,
not gonna.
Yeah,
there's
if
only
you
two
don't-
of
if
us
you
and there's like 15 of the
Back
other
up and
people.
say what you're doing, they ain't gonna win, period,
There's so much,
you know?
and not as much right now, but in the last few years, there's been so much negativity on these websites that none of us look at it. I
You
mean,
know,
we just
and-
don't.
And the thing is, this stuff comes out of our pocket. We have
We
a business
understand that.
license, we have an EIN number. I got that before I even started. And it's a nonprofit organization. We ask for Christmas donations or some other donations, that's it. We're not asking for money. The rest of it's come out of our pocket. That plywood costs $59 a sheet coming out of my pocket to make those. And we're not asking for anybody's donation
So
or
why would you walk away from that
standing out
investment?
on the street corner.
Why would you walk away from that investment?
Because
Because
there's,
of a few people that wanna run their mouth.
Excuse me.
Or
When
any
we
of the
started
people that
the-
running their mouths, volunteering for anything in the town.
Right.
Yeah.
When we started the football field, we were nailed every way but the right way. When we did a lot of that, we were. And that was before websites. It was face-to-face verbal.
There's a lot of he said, she said that goes on, and,
It just happens.
and then when there's
Well, yeah.
one negative thing said, then
jump
people
on it.
that have lived in this town for over 20 years have to bring back up history they had with somebody else, and then they just start dogging the Fromberg Improvement
feeding
Committee. They
frenzy.
do. And what was said on that website was not our opinion, but somebody took it and they were posting negativity themselves, their own comments, but yet other people that read that were saying that it was
directly back
us.
to those of us on the improvement committee, and it was not us saying it. We
And
had
so,
nothing to do with it.
Weezy and I had a meeting with Terry and June begging them to please stay, that
We
this is
decided to
not our
bypass the
opinion.
internet, but
I mean, it's ugly. It's ugly, and they're being told stuff that by people that is not what was said, and so it's just a bunch of. So I couldn't handle it. I just said I got to get a hold of Terry, because the only way to solve this is for her to know how we feel and her to tell us how she feels, instead of it going through all these people and then everything gets changed when you get to it.
Oh, it really does. It never turns out well.
Keep
So.
it going to put some game cameras up. I got one you can borrow.
Jay's got one up there.
Does he?
Yeah, Jay's.
At least you can find out who
I
tearing
would
it up
ask
and
you
stuff.
to
Well-
reconsider.
We
They
did
figured
find
out who was,
one.
who
Did ya?
was
Good.
here. Yeah.
Oh, really? I never heard that. That's.
All right,
Yeah,
you
The
guys-
lights were going
you guys
on,
are-
which
you
was
guys are-
her husband was going to
Just
work
second.
one morning.
Everybody, let's just hold on just a second.
You guys are part of the reason that this town has picked up its game.
We're also part of the reason why so many people don't like us either.
I don't get that.
No.
Because we want to do something for the town.
Why would?
We want to make people come
why would-
together.
Yeah, why would anybody look down upon that concept?
There's one person that doesn't even live here that's doing all this.
Well, and
And
that's
you
it.
should
So you
listen to
shouldn't
that
listen to
person.
that.
Wouldn't live in Joliet.
I mean, that's like,
Yeah, we do.
that's like water off a
Everybody.
duck's back. I mean, you just gotta let that shit roll.
And we hope we took care of that,
Okay,
because we
So-
gave that person a strong message,
okay,
so.
good.
Just don't give up.
Okay, yes.
Please, don't give up
We would ask
Stand
you to
up and
reconsider.
hold your ground.
As a
Really?
I'm
council,
gonna ask you again, June, to reconsider.
We,
We'll all
yeah,
back
we
you.
all appreciate it.
We
Well,
look
I'd say
forward to
definitely
it.
take some time, think about it, feel it out, and you know, you got the support of all of us sitting here. And the only way I would say that you would ever not get approval from us would be if, say, somebody rented out the park for the weekend and kids were gonna be running around playing so they didn't get tipped over. Other than that, it's something to look forward to.
Oh, yeah, and then we just move it down here to the square, or the
Yeah, we
triangle.
were trying to discuss other places for it to go that would be more visible on the highway.
Yeah,
Because
even
I,
that little Y out here. might
yes,
be fun.
exactly.
That's it, because
Like a welcome.
we're trying, as a town, to make this town look better. And what you're doing would help. Now, I wanna get along the railroad, you know, the weeds are a problem. I want that, we're gonna take care of that this year. I don't want any tall weeds growing along the edge of the road, I want it mowed.
They weren't last year, we took care of them.
No, all the way,
All along.
like
Oh,
where my
okay.
dad stops the path, right on the other side of the road.
Yeah.
Okay, well, they never did, so we took care of it. Sandy Spencer and I went out and
Oh,
did
yeah.
that, and Tammy and Wheezy, yeah, we all
Yeah.
did.
Yeah, I pulled out that
Even if
weed
you
eater and
wanted to
pushed it
consider
around out
that's the
there.
reason why we couldn't do it on the Y coming into town.
Or by the cabin.
Yeah, by the
Yeah.
cabin.
By the cabin,
But
we did that
I'm gonna
too,
say that they approached somebody about doing it by the cabin, and every time they've been asking somebody, what about here, they are being told, oh, that's Marge's. Marge did that, that's Marge's.
And that's
And
not
that's
true.
not how she's feeling, so.
No, and Marge has stated in this meeting, in one of these meetings,
She's given some of that up.
yeah, she's given up pretty much all of it.
The cabin never was mine, you guys, it belongs
I
to
know.
the town,
But
to you guys.
you were kind of the one in charge of it, and you said you didn't want to do it no more, and I told the ladies they could go do that. So officially, from everybody here, unless you guys got a complaint, I don't have a problem with them going down and decorating that cabin and making it look nice. Or if they want to put things over here in the Y, have at it.
I know
Yes.
that wagon there, that old wagon,
Mm-hmm.
can be used for, flowers and stuff like that if anybody wanted to do it. The bottom's inside's rotting out, but Alex said that he could come up with a sheet of roofing tin to just line that whole thing.
Oh,
But-
yeah.
And you still can't plant flowers in it until it was totally, it'll rot the wood out.
Right, but we
Yeah.
can put buckets in there.
Right.
We can put
If you
buckets
sturdy up
inside
the
of
wagon,
it,
yeah.
if we sturdy it up with a
And I do
tin.
know that as far as poking things into the ground around that and the rocks.
Yeah,
not
poking
needed.
anything into those rocks where we have the weed barrier, that's the only thing that would be problematic, and that's pretty easy. Any place where the big river rocks and stuff are, you can pretty much count on there being weed barrier. And other than that, except for Scotty's flower arrangement, that whole corner can be.
Yeah,
I would recommend that you don't listen to or read this online stuff. Because it doesn't represent the town of Fromberg. It represents 2 or 3 people. And it's not fair for us to lose out because of what 2 or 3 people are putting online.
that's right.
I really would hope that you would reconsider.
We'll get back.
Would you please think about it,
Thank you.
because it's something that I think is very good for the town.
I would like it where people coming into town could see it, or like out on that wide. I think that would be very cool.
That would be.
Yeah, right now, it's only really enjoyed by the people over there.
Yeah.
We get to drive by it every day.
Yeah.
Even if it had like a welcome banner and then the different figurines around it, I mean, something like that, every little town's got something similar.
Well, there's a lot of work put into them, and
No
There
doubt.
is, and you guys do a very nice job.
poor Terry, she gets the little people to paint, and I whip her ass by doing the big pieces.
13 of them in 2 weeks.
We
Poor
appreciate it.
girl. So
Please.
Yeah, think about it.
Yes,
we'll get back with you on that, and
okay, that'd be great.
so we'll table this conversation.
Okay, you're good, thank you. Kyle, do you want to come over and have a chair?
Sure.
I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. Sorry, I was a little late.
Okay, do we have anything else on public comment?
I think we're here for that reason,
Okay,
because it started a big, awful war.
Well, I commend you ladies and for getting with those ladies and working things out. No, I hope.
We have asked them previously to join us, and I understand if they don't want to, but definitely we want them to do that. I do, I mean, I can only speak for myself, but I know that I've been told that by everybody else.
I think truly there's a better place for it than out in the park, especially if kids are gonna get out there in the nice weather and start playing and stuff like that. But that Y area is just, it seems to me to be so perfect.
You have a great idea.
Yeah, I like that welcome sign, because we've been thinking about doing that for a while, like having it made out of metal from the, up at the school, haven't we? But if we could get wooden, if they could make it, I
Or
mean,
even if we still incorporate the school idea, I like that idea of something that's gonna last. And then
Yes.
if they wanna do different seasonal figurines or not, that's fine, because obviously
I
we
love
get
it.
color signs. So.
I mean,
Okay.
to March sneak out.
Why don't you go get some, bring it back.
Okay, do we have any other public comment? Our deputy has not shown up yet, so I'll table his comments. Hopefully he'll show up.
Yeah, he said he was coming.
Yeah. Okay, next thing on the agenda is approved minutes for 01/11/22.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from January 11th.
And I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes for 01/11/22. All in favor?
Aye.
Approved claims?
I make a motion to approve the claims for month of January.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the claims. All in favor?
Aye.
Approved payroll summary.
I'll make a motion to approve the payroll for January.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve payroll summary. All in favor?
Aye.
Next on the list is Christy Klein with the MRWS about source water protection plan.
Did I spell your name right on there?
I don't know, I didn't see the agenda, it's with K.
K-R-I-S-T-I.
No
Nope,
E.
nope.
And it's
Okay, I'll remember that.
K-L-I-N-E. Yes,
You
no, you
butchered
didn't. You didn't, Lacey.
Yeah, it's usually Jade that does that.
I have many spellings of my name on there. Well, thank you. I just wanted to give a little presentation of the work that I've been working with Mayor Tim and also Jay. The Source Water Protection Plan is, we look at the assessment that was completed for your public water system. DQ completed that way back in 2004, I think it was. And then it was updated when you added a new public water well about 2016. But in that, what we look at are the sources of the water, the recharge of the water. We look at any contaminants that may be getting around into the well. The object of the whole planning process is to see what we can put protective barriers against. We look at into areas that the city does not own the land and look for collaborative planning, look for other types of work that maybe private landowners have done. Maybe it's federal. Burlington Northern is a railroad that goes through town. They certainly carry interesting loads that we don't always know what's in there. And so we look at a number of things that we want to protect the water, to look for advancement of and securing the future for your community. So one of the things that we look at is how much water do you have? What's the capacity of those wells? Well, by adding that second well, you are increasing the ability for Jay to be able to have redundancy or duplication if there's an issue with one of the wells. You have a nice newer well that's been cased. You removed the infiltration gallery that was there from many years ago, which was kind of per se maybe not as protective as others. But you're very close to the Clark Fork River, and the Clark Fork of the Yellowstone, I mean. And so flooding issues are a concern. Yeah, I know you guys know what that's all about, you're living there. Bank erosion is starting to occur along the stretch of that. And there was an assessment that was done by the Carbon County Conservation District, an assessment that was done. And so we made some collaborative planning meetings with Chris Wallstead, the NRCS agent there in Joliet, and also with Conservation District. They have evaluated the Clark Fork all the way from the border until it joins then the Yellowstone River. And in that, they've looked at the banks of the river, and they've looked at things that have been done over various years. They've also made a couple of ideas of what could be done in the future. How that happens is the next question. We were talking with Mayor Tim about that, is that it's funding issue, and who is it that, you know, will do that. But this is really each segment of the river, and if I got this on this right, yeah, you guys are there. And so Fromberg's here, and if you just kind of look at the meandering of the river, my concern was the issue of the river wanting to cut right through there. And if it does that, that goes right to where the well field is. Now there's a house, there's some bridges cause some issues, you know, because you back water up on all of that. We're not moving the bridge. But those are things that show up. And so we start looking and talking about coordination and a conversation with other folks then, namely emergency response. So we visited with Serena Allen, the DES coordinator. A lot of people know what areas are flooded. A lot of people know what areas have some bank erosion on there too. But this whole effort is one of those things where you gather together and kind of join efforts. There's a lot of knowledge. There's a lot of people that have lived here for a number of years. They know some things of the way, you know, some protective things that have been done that are all helpful with that. And so that's the thing, is that there's a process that has been started, and now we just have to have people join in with some of those efforts as they continue on. So one of the things we did was with the source water plan was bring drinking water to a community as a focus on with this assessment. It's groundwater well, it's not surface water, you're not using that, but the groundwater and the well field. And so to protect that, that's one of the things is that we look at this particular thing. So I'm here with positive news. That's the thing, is that I have this, when I work with public water systems, the biggest thing that I try to tell them is that you're not an island. There are many resources here. And so, you know, the thing like what Jay has done with the town of Fromberg, and you guys have done for many years, collaboration, coordination with the town of Bridger. Okay, the two operators, Randy and Dale and Jay, they share resources. They, you know, you're helping each other out on that. That's things that we, you know, really like to see in that respect, because you are closely niched together with that. And so that is just stuff that I like to bring out and applaud, because that's what makes it successful. And that's what moving forward is that, you know, you're going to be joining efforts on that. So with this plan, what we were looking for is not all of the things, but what we look for are nitrates in water and coliform. So those are the bacteria issues that we have with water. Those are the safe drinking water rules that Jay has to make sure, you know, your water is to be potable water. So there's a whole lot of other things that come to play in that, but that's the whole point in source water that we are looking for. VOCs, which are volatile organic carbons, synthetic organic carbons, and inorganic carbons. Pesticides, herbicides, yes, they're all used. We're in a farming ag community. We're not saying they're, you know, have to disappear, but how do we live together with them? And part of that conversation is how everyone is storing them, how are they handling them, making sure that they're not overused, making sure that they're, you know, used correctly. That's part of the planning process. Actually, the biggest planning effort that you do is just public outreach. Is that making your community know where your public water is and having them be part of the team of protecting it as well, because they're all residents and, you know, this is your community. So how do we make it nice and safe for that? So, what I'm gonna do is just hand out, I've got 4, this is part of the plan. And it's got like 4 pages of it, a lot of words on a page, but if you would go to the last page of that, there's a couple of tables. And so here's what you get to do. This is what I'm here to tell you what we put together. And so there's 2 things. That one is the management plan of what we look at from today and what we look at to like 5 years from now, because that's kind of what the plan is set up for. And so on that first one, it says, I gotta read what I wrote. Make sure. So the action item is collaborate with Carbon County's Conservation District, NRCS, and area landowners in source water protection regions. Support the Clark Fork water sampling project, that's ongoing. They are doing a crop practice conservation or conversion where they're, Chris and the NRCS have been working with area sugar beet producers to switch from flood irrigation to pivot, and looking to see if maybe that might help eliminate some of the soil that's lost from the extra water that, you know, comes off of that. But also in turn look at that as a win for the producer so that they can improve, you know, what they gain out of that as well. Right. So this whole aspect, if I would, you know, pare it all down, is we're not pointing fingers. We're coming to the table and saying, what are we doing? Finding out a little bit about what practices they've been, you know, put on their fields. And learn about that too, and then say, hey, we have the source water that we want to protect as well. So that's really what it is. It's a chance to converse with all of the neighbors that live here and see how we can go forward on that and protect that river somewhat so it doesn't cut out your wells. So if you look at the table as their action item, and then there's responsible party, and the town of Fromberg Council is on every single one of them. So you guys have a large part in this, mainly because you are the entity, you know, that runs the city and owns the public water systems. But Jay's involved in it too, but it really is a joint effort in that, and that's really where that rests. There is a timeline and there's a status, and the one thing I want you to know is that this is all volunteer. That none of this is regulatory. None of this is. I come with no regulations for you to follow. These are suggestions. And one of the guidelines is that if you look over there in the timeline, it said maybe monthly meetings, but it says status and it says ongoing. And the whole aspect is to do something to start with, and then you guys look at this, and as you maybe get involved in some projects that are already started, maybe you come up with, you know, kind of a conversation from other folks and say, hey, why don't we do this? Perfect. We're going to change this because this table is a work in progress. This is a fluid plan, and it's meant to be changed if it need to be. And if there's nothing else to be done and you don't have, you know, the new